Assalamu alaikum. Great to be back on the stage. I really miss the stage. COVID has really changed all that. Oh, सारे session हमारे online, all we did that. So I always wanted to be, face to face people. When we share or when we mentor or when we want to, guide people, it's best to have face to face sessions, not just on the online. So good to be here. I just like to dwell on the main topic, which is leadership. And whatever we see today, whatever success we see in organization or in any type of sports or any type of projects we do, whenever there's a success, how much leadership played the role and how much team played the role. So question remains, in leadership with the team, what sort of weightage will give the leader for the success and what sort of weightage the team will get? It's very important to really understand that weightage points. To me, leader plays the main role of any success. How many of you remember 1992 World Cup, which Pakistan won? How many of you? Some of you were not even born at that time. And how many of you understand cricket? I hope all of you understand cricket. So if you remember that particular match, boys, if you remember that match, just imagine Wasim Akram took 2 wickets in 2 balls. Yep. Just imagine Imran hasn't given him the over and given Akif Javed the over. Just imagine that. Captain deciding the ball to Wasim Akram, and instead of Wasim Akram, gave it to Akif Javed. I believe the match was won in those 2 balls. Any one of you remember that match? Those 2 balls won the World Cup to Pakistan and our Prime Minister. Some wish it doesn't happen. But don't worry about politics. But that is exactly the decision is about. At a given time, captain took a decision to give the ball to Wasim Akram. And suddenly the game was won. That is what leadership is about. You will never get a perfect team. You cannot have every one of the member skill of same level or same energy, same passion. It's not possible. Never happens. You will always get a team which is balanced, which has weak people, strong people, skilled people, not a team with skill, but it's a team. A leader's role is to harness the energy and total package as a skill to deliver whatever. It's a software project, it's a cricket match, it's a government, whatever it is. How does it happen? So how does leader work? How does the leader behave? How does it happen? I mean, how do you decide? It's not in the books. See, book mein nahi hai. I mean, book will tell you so many things about leadership. But in reality, it's your instinct. At the given time, you decide, take a decision. That decision will decide what, do we succeed or do we fail? That's it. And leaders learn over time how the decision is taken. The leaders who are lucky to fail, I call them lucky, to fail early in their life. Why I call them lucky? They're lucky if they are learning from that failure. They'll be unlucky if they start blaming their team and not learning from that failure. They're very unlucky. But some of them are very lucky, they're very clever. They learn from each failure. They have a match lost. See, Pakistan lost many matches in that series, in the World Cup. In fact, Pakistan lost 3-4 first matches. First 4 matches or 3 matches we lost. So captain, the leader, was learning from those matches. He was not blaming the team in his heart because he knew his team is mediocre. The team was not the perfect team. Let's face it. It wasn't the best team. If you look at the names of the people, it wasn't the best team. But the leader was learning. Each time they lost a match, he was learning. He was checking the behavior of each player, the skills of the batters, skill of the bowlers, the fielders, where to place them, who will take the catch. So 4 matches lost, 4 failures, or whatever number was, he was learning. In his heart, he was talking to himself that I am to blame. I am responsible for losing the match. He's not blaming Wasim Akram or Raka Yunus or Akib Javed or Mushtaq, Saklain, all that. He's not. He's talking to himself. All right? Because I didn't use the bowlers at the right time. I didn't put the right fielder at the right place to slip to miss the catch. He must be doing that because if I'm the leader at that time, I'll be thinking like that. It's my flaw, it's my weakness to lose the match. That's very lucky captain, lucky leader. The lucky leaders always will learn from the failure. And fail we all do. Failure is, it happens. We all fail. Always be a failure in our life. But were we lucky enough to acknowledge that it's our failure? Lucky to then learn from that failure. So this is what happened to that particular World Cup. We lost matches, but at the right time, we peaked. Because all those losses were learning lessons to the leader. He knew every player what their strengths and weaknesses are. By that time, he knew who will bowl at what time. He had already planned in his mind what I will do. He knew English players, what their weaknesses were. So he brought in Wasim Akram at the right time. And 2 balls changed the right. That's leadership. How do you function? How do you decide? Will you ever always look for a perfect set of people to work for you? Yeah, you will decide. You will never do it. You have to make sure whatever team is given to you, yes, you are given choice to pick up. But even when you're picking up, when you're interviewing, you're a mixed bag. Always the mixed bag. But the best results are, in fact, taken from the mediocre team. In fact, very skillful or very smart teams sometimes it's difficult to manage even because they're too smart. They're too smart to work with. So I myself as a leader always pick up a team which is balanced. Few very smart people, few mediocre, few with energy, few with long hour working abilities. I'll pick that up because that way I am able to deliver my results. Now, NETSOL is a company which is now, mashallah, we are in 26th year. I believe so, yeah. 26th year, mashallah. Who's younger than 26? I think you're younger than 26. Who was not born who was born after 96? Few of you, I think, I'm sure. I will show you how पैदा होंगे. इरफान हम ही हो जाएंगे. The company is older than some of you. But this company has learned. It has learned to evolve. I was asked a question. How did we decide to build NETSOL? It's said. Where did we get the idea from? Where did it come from? Did we have the knowledge? Did we have the domain expertise when we developed? No. We never had. When we started NETSOL, this is 1996, January, we just wanted to be a service organization. And idea was, like anybody else, we'll take the work, we'll develop, give it back, and we'll make the money. That was the idea at that time. But I, for myself, always wanted to have an organization which does its own product. That was a dream. That was an idea. That was, a wish. A wish to have our own software. Nice to have a wish. You can imagine, you can dream, but how do you decide? Because I'm a techie, I'm a software developer. I don't have a background of financial software. I am not an accountant, I'm not a leasing guy. I have never done that. So when we started working with our first customer, Mercedes-Benz at that time, they had leasing software, and they wanted us to help them service their leasing software to implement, and we did that. But while we were doing it, we watched very carefully how does the software work, what does it do, how does the transaction work. I was a leader at that time with a very small team, and I have to watch and see what can we do to adopt the software. So we started asking Mercedes-Benz to let us develop, let's develop software for you. And they say, you cannot do that. Salim, your company is too young, you don't have the experience, you don't have the background, you don't have domain knowledge of what we do. How can you develop? So I have to convince them, look, we can bring in the people with the domain knowledge. Let us try and develop your software for you. After a lot of persuasion, they decided to give us a very small piece of point of sales. It was the first generation point of sales. They said, all right, Mr. NETSOL, we can let you develop a small point of sale system to see if you have the ability to develop a software for us, your own software for us. That was the challenge. Now here I am, with no knowledge of myself, of financial needs, but then I have to put a team together. I have to bring people together with that knowledge so we can develop the system. When we were talking and negotiating with at that time of the people, and because it was their software, it was their business, it was their system, technically we were doing a service for them. It's just service job. But we convinced them, look, don't pay us a lot of money. We were asking for a few $100,000. Just pay us half of it and let us keep the knowledge with us so we can resell it. That's a very strange thing to ask, because normally company, when they pay for services, they don't allow you to keep the knowledge. That knowledge is there, not yours. But we convinced them at that time that let us keep the knowledge with us so we can then use this knowledge to sell to other customers. Somehow they agreed with us. It was very interesting, and again, maybe it was a good salesmanship on our behalf that we convinced them to let us keep the knowledge. So we developed our first point of sale system for Mercedes-Benz. It worked. Again, very mediocre team at that time, brought in people together, 4 or 5 people together, picked up the right people with the right skill set, put them together as a unit, and just oversaw how they developed. And we did. We developed, we delivered. It was success. Our first delivery was a very successful system for Taiwan. In Chinese, by the way. All Chinese, we never saw the customer of Chinese work, but we did that. So that was a success. First success, very first assignment, and we were successful. So Mercedes-Benz was now impressed that without the proper domain knowledge, we're still able to deliver a small part of the basic system for them. So we continue to pursue them to give us more work. So they give us a second piece of chunk, which is a credit approval system, which we call CAP today, credit approval processing system. And again, this time we convinced them to let the NETSOL keep the knowledge as their ownership, and they will pay us just fraction of the amount which actually cost, and they were happy to pay a small amount for the system, and we kept the knowledge. So we collected the knowledge from point of sales to the CAP, we kept the knowledge with us. And we just kept collecting and learning from their business. This continued until we came to the last part, contract management system. This is now 2001, yeah, 2001. Now we are planning to develop a full contract management system. Again, most of you are part of that development. It's a very complex solution. Again, we convinced them that we have the ability to bring the right people together with the right domain knowledge, expertise, and skill set, so we can deliver you a CMS. They were convinced. And again, we convinced them to Let us keep the knowledge of that business so we can resell, and we will charge you fraction of the price you have to pay to somebody else. So they were happy to pay a very little amount to get the system done. And we were very happy to get the knowledge. This is what leadership is about. Now imagine, the company is only a few years old. And we are letting go the money. We are not asking for money, but we are asking for knowledge. That's what decision is about in life. Just remember, if at that time I said, no, I just want the money, I don't care about your knowledge, just give me the money because I need the money. Yeah, they would have given me the money. But where will NETSOL be today? We'll have no product to sell. Now, those were the decisions taken at that time. They were tough. Money was needed. We have to pay salaries. We have to pay the rent. But we said, no, money is not the object. Today, we will not worry about money. Today, we want to build a company with the knowledge. It took us years. We took up peanuts. Whatever system we developed, we took very small amount. Every time we gave them a discount, a big discount, we just took a small amount because we wanted to build the company with a product. If that is not leadership, what I said there, that was the decision. Very tough decision. Not many people will have the ability because money is needed to pay bills. And somehow we said we will survive without the money. We did that. Today, NETSOL is by far one of the largest company with the domain knowledge in the world today. We have very powerful domain knowledge simply because the decisions we took 20 years ago, 22 years ago, on making sure the customer gives us the domain knowledge and let us keep IP rights so we can resell. So how did we become here? How did we become so successful? I'll tell you what, people. It was all about the people we had. I could take decisions. Yeah, this is my decisions, they will not charge, but who developed at the back end? Who converted those total knowledge into a system? People. We were all able to bring in people together. As I said, it wasn't, at that time in Pakistan, very few people coming out of IT schools. Today we have so many schools. At that time there were very few schools. So small number of people coming out of schools, and we have to train them, and we have to train them with IT skills, and we have to train them with domain knowledge. We did that. We didn't make excuse that, oh, we don't have the people. That was an excuse. Today you're lucky, you can find people. You go out in the market, and if you're willing to pay whatever salary they want, you can hire them. Not at that time. So people was the key to success of NETSOL. NETSOL today is simply because all people are able to take the stress out. They're able to look after themselves. We created, a cafeteria. Companies took care of the lunch itself with no charge to the employees, making sure again it's critical that people are fed properly so they can focus on the work. We don't want people to go out and spend time looking for food. Small things, small decisions taken. To me, these are very small things, but they were critical. Those decisions created an environment which brought us today. Success is not just being a good leader. Success is a balanced leader. Having feeling of the people. You must understand your people who work for you. Each individual have got their own challenges of life. Do you understand your individuals? Do you know their names? I used to know names of everyone in the early days, but mashallah now today we have 1,500 people plus. But do you know name of everyone who works for you? Do you know them personally? Do you know what they're going through? Do you know their personal life? Do you know how many children they got? Do you know what they do? What their parents? I used to do that. I used to know every individual with their families, with their names, with their spouses, with their parents. That makes the difference. They felt they are part of a family. You start doing that, each individual working for you, you need to know them. You know them well. They will have good points, they will have weak points. Ignore their weak points, look at their powerful points, and you will have the best resources. That's what a leader does. A leader does always look for the strengths, ignore the weaknesses. For me, a leader will always acknowledge a failure as his own and not blame the team. For me, a leader will always acknowledge the success as the team's doing, not his own. That's the difference. When a project fails, leader takes responsibility. That's what I do. Several times I have to stand in front of my board and tell them, I'm sorry, things didn't work out. Things didn't go right. I'm responsible because I am the CEO, I'm the head, I decided, and if it didn't work out, I'm responsible. And I was not ashamed of that. Never. Because I know I did my best. And the board was said, fine, go back, try again. When there was success, and we have, mashallah, so many successes, I always put the team in front. I never came in front and said that, I'm responsible. So you, as a leader, has to build this, personality of that. Give the importance to the people who are the actual worker. They are the one who are going to convert your projects into the real businesses. When we signed the biggest contract, the second biggest contract in China about 2.5 years ago with one of the largest customers, and we were celebrating the contract in China with the customer, and the customer had a big party, very big party. And the CEO made a speech, and they told, oh, NETSOL, well done, you are the one who are going to develop the system for us, and we are looking forward to that, and congratulations to you and your team. They're happy. So they called me to speak. And I said, Serge, thank you very much. Really grateful that you have picked up NETSOL. We really feel, that you have trusted us, and you chosen us among many companies in the world, chose NETSOL to deliver your system for you. But I'm not going to celebrate today. I'm not going to celebrate today at all. Because what you have done is given a responsibility. And I have made a commitment to give you a system back in 2 years. Now it's a huge commitment. It's a huge responsibility on my shoulder. I cannot celebrate. I'm not going to be, you can't see me smiling today. Let other people enjoy, but I'm not going to smile today. I will smile. I will surely smile, but when? When we deliver the system. Inshallah, there will be time that I will be the happiest person on the earth, and we did that. We delivered the system. And we had a party again in China, and I was smiling. And I was happy. I said, now I can celebrate, and now I can tell you, yes, we've delivered. What does it mean? So whenever you get a responsibility, you have to deliver that. That's what it is about. And we always get new projects, and we always have to remember, a project means a customer has trust in you. They have faith in you that you will give them their system. If we fail, they will lose big time because they're waiting. Their business is waiting for us to give them a system. And if we do not deliver the system in 2 years' time, remember they will lose 2 years of their business life and they have to start again. That's a big loss to our business. So it's a big trust factor between a vendor and a customer. A vendor is making a promise to a customer. We will deliver you your system, you can trust us. We can't make fake promises as a big company. And that's what happens to NETSOL. So far NETSOL has, mashallah, taken huge contracts. And alhamdulillah, touch wood, we have delivered all. A few issues in between. They're normal, but we have not failed so far. We have, alhamdulillah, delivered simply because we take this matter of trust and faith very seriously. A customer is giving us their total belief in us. I accept it and deliver. That's what leadership is about, guys. NETSOL is now in a phase where there's a new, there's going to be a change. NETSOL, inshallah ta'ala. It's going to be a very changing NETSOL. We have done well. We've done well to date, and going forward, the business will change, organization will change, and this new organization, a new business will be different than what we have done in the last 26 years. And it's not us, it's the business demand us to change. The environment in the world has changed, technology has changed, the way we do business has changed, the way people lend money has changed, the way people buy cars have changed. It's all changing. We have to change. If we don't change, with the world will be, will be left behind by others. So NETSOL has to change the way we have done work in the past. So going forward, be ready for a change. Be prepared how we have worked, how we developed, how we worked, and what we developed will change also. There will be a lot more development to be done now. With new technologies, the new ways it's all about now cloud, and it's all about SaaS. So this is the change we will implement from going forward. That's a big change for us because we've done very well in the past with how and what we did. So this is the time that we must change the way we do business, the way we develop, the way we build the company. So be prepared, be mentally ready, and you should also adopt the change. Because if we don't change, as I said, we'll be worthless. Nobody will want our product in a few years' time because the world will want different product. World will want different systems in next 5 years or 3 years or 4 years. So we have to change now. We have to adopt, and we have to be more, visionary. We have to look in the future and see what's going to be needed tomorrow. We have to think about it. You have to be clever. You have to help the company. You have to, advise your leaders, and leaders will come to me with your idea. What is required to us to change and what we need to do so we are in business in 2025. I've learned a lot more about how people behave and how they are, they are not what they're telling us. So it's a big lesson and a big degree. I'm getting another degree. मैं तो मैंने कितनी PhD कर गया. There's so many disappointments in the past, but you will still not see me not trusting anyone. Always for me, it's critical for my leadership is whoever we bring in, just give them the trust and let them go and take care of the job. Let them do it. Never oversee them, never look on their shoulder, never, underguess them, second guess them, never question their wisdom. Guide them. They come to me. ये सारे मेरे पास आते हैं. Constantly, Irfan की team, जितने leaders हैं, they come to me. We have meetings and they pick up my brains. But this is it. उसके बाद जाके काम खुद करते हैं. They all do their work. Customer को ये face करते हैं. और कोई customer आसान नहीं हमारा. So this is, no, you can't lose your trust. The moment you have given up people, resign. Leave it. You're not a leader anymore. Because you're not capable. So you have to have that faith and trust in the people. Otherwise, आप घर जाइए. Go home. पीछे से इशारा आ रहा है.
Thank you, sir. So one more thing, just wanted to, add, rather share my quick experience. The people who are not motivated within themselves, they don't have the fire in their belly, actually they are on the losing end, which she said. The reason is it's not only in NETSOL. When you work with the people and all that people is basically, you are making your reputation within those people or within those team members. When those team members work for other project or other organization, they will never ever, refer you. So it's on your own as well to keep yourself motivated and keep working because it is your career.
Thank you, Irfan. Very nice. पीछे से word से जी. I can't hear you.
Hi SG, this is Zainab from AHR. I'd like to know, as you have discussed about innovation, integrity, teamwork, direction, empathy, and all other aspects of agile leadership. According to you,
बेटा कान मुझे आवाज आपकी सही नहीं आ रही. आप मास्क उतार लीजिएगा. जी आप बताइए.
you were discussing about innovation, integrity, empathy, and all other aspects of agile leadership. According to you, what is one of the biggest problems faced to Pakistani IT industry in terms of leadership?
Thank you. Yeah, I think we talked about that. The biggest challenge to the leadership of Pakistan is simple. All these questions are referring to that the problem with the Pakistan leadership. See, the problem with the leadership is that the leader believes that he is everything, and he tends to do everything himself. That's the biggest problem with the leaders today because they think they know everything, and they will do everything themselves. They take all the decisions. They will not let the people do the work. They have hired the best people, but they don't let them work because they will decide. That's a very poor leadership. they will succeed. They will succeed because they're clever, but they were not building a company. So they will build themselves, but not the company. So this person can stay for 10 years in a company, or 20 years, even 30 years. For 30 years, company will do well. What happens when that person leaves? There is nobody. Because he did not trust anyone. He didn't trust. So the biggest issue with leadership is trust, जो हम बात कर रहे हैं. When you hire people, make sure you hire the right people. Do your best. मैंने भी कहा कि मैंने भी गलतियां की हैं. Because I thought I'm hiring the right people, they were not the right people. So I failed. That's fine. I failed. So what? Many times I failed in the last 26 years. Many people we hired didn't work out very well. We accepted that. And we took the loss. So, but I still trust. Amir asked me, you still trust me? Of course I trust. I cannot stop trusting people. The moment I stop trusting people, company will continue because I'll take over. I'll do everything myself. मैं खुद जाके बैठ जाऊंगा, फर्म कंपनी ले जाऊंगा. मैं 10 से फर्म हर जगह बैठ के इधर जा रहा हूँ, इधर जा रहा हूँ, हर काम मैं कर रहा हूँ. क्या होगा? कल जब मैं थक जाऊंगा, तो कंपनी में कोई नहीं होगा इसको बिल्ड करने के लिए. So that's the biggest problem in leadership in Pakistan. Leader believes that he is the jack of all trade, he is the best, and उसके जो लोग हैं वो सारे idiots हैं, and he's not willing to take the criticism, he's not willing to take the question, he's not willing to discuss. वो शर्म कर देता लोगों को. Shut up. हमने देखा है वो फौरन शर्म कर देंगे अपने नंबर 2 को. That is where the crisis comes in. So company organization will continue to run because of that guy. But the moment that guy decided to back off or retire or go away, the company is no more. So remember that leadership requires trust. The first element of a good leader is trust and faith in the people he's got, and he's not willing to fail, not afraid of failing. जो लीडर फेलों से डरता है वो लीडर बन ही नहीं सकता. लीडर की सबसे बड़ी निशानी है कि वो डरता ही नहीं है फेल होने से, वो कोशिश करता रहता है. आप देखेंगे उसकी मैनेजमेंट उसका साथ देगी. It's always be part of a person who's really trying and sometimes not successful, doesn't matter.